All right, somehow the first part of this video that I already recorded got deleted somehow. I don't know. So I'm just going to recap on what you're going to need. Um, you're going to need a wire brush, um, your acrylic paint, and there's two colors here. The one that I use in this video is burnt umber, which is the one that I go to for most of any whitetails. If I want to add a little bit more darker tones to it, I use the raw umber. Um, then you're going to need a wet rag. Um, you can soak it in some water. You can spray the antlers, wipe it that way. Um, and then another thing that I had already recorded in the previous part of the video was when you do down in here on the antlers, all right, down in here to get this little, those extra lines and stuff, use the brush. Just go in there with the brush and fade that out underneath, because you can't get that with the rag, and it works perfect. Just a little wire brush, and you can go over the entire thing with a wire brush once it's painted. So that is the recap of what video I did lose. All right, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take your little wire brush, big wire brush, whatever, and just go in, and you're going to want to get all the dirt and stuff just wire brushed off. No big deal whether if you lose some color or not. This guy's not chalked out or anything. He's just, I'd say he was probably laying out a year, looks like. Now you can see here there's a white spot here and a white spot here. That's where he was rubbing his antlers more there than probably here. It's kind of more smoothed out. Um, Now up in here though, I mean, he probably rubbed it a little bit, but not as much as right here. I mean, you can tell it's smoothed out. All right, and once you got all your wire brushing done, you can still see there's some natural spots in the antlers, like here, and just the little like bone spots. I don't even know what you actually call that. It's just where the coloration is of the natural bones coming through. But you can see back here we still got a little bit of dirt and whatnot. So what I usually do is take some rubbing alcohol, some type of kind of alcoholic cleaner, and then just take and just wipe where the heavy spots are, because if it don't come off with this, it's probably not going to come off. It just makes a good clean. So here, what is that? Just basically wipe them all down, and then got a little bit of index here. Just take wipe the main parts off, just to get any other loose stuff out. Because if your horns feel gritty, it's not going to work as well. It'll still work, but not as well. You can see we got some staining of the antler here where it was laying in the mud. All down in there, it's all nice and good. So now we're going to move on to the paint or staining. All right, now when you're doing the paint, I always like to use something white so I can see the actual color of the paint. Because especially if you're blending two colors, you want to actually see what that color is on something white before you go applying it to what you're working on. So basically all I'm going to do is just some paint here, load the brush up, and we're going to start on this side right here. Now I never, with a loaded brush, you never want to start down here. You want to start up in here and kind of work your way down into there. Now, this is going to look really dark right now because I'm just putting it on, and this stuff almost dries almost instantly, and you want to work this brush down in there and get this stuff all down in all those little cracks and crevices. I mean, basically you're coating the entire antler. And make sure you use acrylic paint, nothing other than acrylic, unless you're airbrushing. And it don't matter if we get it on the skull because this is getting mounted. Get it all the way up, I mean, right to the tips. Just, we're coating the whole thing. You already see that's all dry. And some people like darker antlers, but we're doing it to make it look natural. We want natural looking bone. We don't want fake looking stuff. If you're trying to do this where it looks good. I mean, and the other thing is stains work good to a point, but I just don't, they're very unforgiving, which with this, basically a toddler could do it and not really mess it up. And it don't have to be the same consistency color throughout the whole antlers. I always kind of fade off at the ends. When you get into those little spots there that paint will go in, just swirl your brush in and that paint will go right on down in them little cracks and little crevices and whatnot. Now we've got some natural coloration over here that I gotta remember. Bring that back out. All right, now this side is done, is what I, not finished, but it's done painting right now. And it's already dry. I mean, it's a little bit tacky, but a couple more minutes it'll be dry. Now what I usually do is go ahead and move on to the next side. But what I want to point out is you can see here all the blood vessels that when the deer was in velvet, they're all, you can really see them now and all the other little natural features of it. And yeah, we got some a little bit lighter here and darker in some areas, but I will show you how that turns out. And there it is. There's the one side, and there's the other. Like I said, it's dark right now, and if you like darker antlers, you can leave it like that, or go on and lighten them up like I'm getting ready to show you here in a minute. So I'm going to do the other side, and then all right. Now everything is well, it's painted. Now I've got to do step 3, which is pretty simple. Always you like to use a rag. It's got a little bit more aggressive, I guess you would say. Spray a little bit of H2O or whatever you got handy around, and just really start just about anywhere you want. Just kind of lightly going over, so we want lighter tips, fading them down into you can spray the horns, the rag, get it somewhat, you don't want to lose. Oh, look at that. That right there looks almost perfect. Just lightly do it. If you do too hard, you're going to have to go back and add some color. Just keep everything kind of flowing the same way. If you want a little bit lighter on the main beam than you do at the tops. Well, and what right in here. Kind of hard to explain. You just kind of gotta go with the flow of the antlers. See, back in there, he would have had a little divot. He's got a little divot right there, so he would have probably held color there a little more than he would have elsewhere. Move over here, so just kind of lightly lighter tip, a little bit of color, and you can see how that's kind of fading back in. It's got all the little scratches and stuff that's got the color in it, the way it naturally would look. And if I remove too much, I can go back and add a little bit more. Yeah, see, look, that looks like natural antler. Versus where a stain has like a shellac look. And the best place to color your antlers is outside, because you get that natural lighting. we're starting to get down into there. See, I want that darker in here, but I want this lighter. So what I'm doing is I'm just going over the spot that I want lighter and not touching that with water until it dries. Then we'll go back, see how it looks. Now we're going to start down this way. And now I can see right here, it needs a little bit taken out there, a little bit right here. I always like to do one side at a time so that I can match up the other side. Natural, and we're not even done yet. And then remember, this is a spot where he rubbed a lot, so you just take that high center point and then just kind of fade that color back down in his brow tines. You probably like to rub on his brow tines here a little bit, get the tips. Basically what the rag can get. In here to his bases, take all the, well, all them little dips and whatnot. Just go right over top of them. Don't go down inside of them because you want to leave that color. You want to leave that deep color because I'm going to show you the trick to getting that color to look right at the bases. Just all these little top points. Not points, but these little. All right, I got this guy almost done. Taking him out here in the sunlight. Actually seeing pretty good. He is almost done. Still got to do a little bit more coloration on him, but not too bad. All right, I'm gonna get him mounted up real quick, and I will get back to you once he is on the mount. Then I'll go back through his antlers and do any little touch-ups. All right, now that I got him mounted up, I got him here in some decent light, I can see a few spots that are a little bit different. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but right in here is a little bit darker than over in here. So all I'm going to do is just take one there. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Oh yeah. It matches better now. And coming down in here a little bit. And noticed here versus over on this side, this is a little bit lighter colored. Now, see, it's got that nice flowing color in there. You can see there where I was talking about right here, that's natural, and then all the brown, that's all just the color that I added back in. Rub his brow tines down a little bit. And this is on one of my pre-mounted deer. That's why it didn't take me long to mount it. Yeah, I think he is about as good as he's gonna get. Just kind of getting some a little bit more lighter color. The bases. A little bit right here. You're always finding something wrong. But you can see all that really nice color that came back out. All the depth too. That's the main thing, is getting the depth right. And now he don't look just like old faded out bleached deer. He's actually got some color to him right here. Yeah, you can see the natural color, and then it gets a little bit too dark. That is just to wipe that paint off a little bit. Yeah, that's better. See, now it kind of blends back up into there. And they're not shiny or anything. They're just natural. No, I mean, they are as good as you can, really, I think, as good as you're going to get them. So if you guys want me to do some other videos on some other antlers or whatever other kind of taxidermy, let me know. And I'll get it done for you. But yeah, these turned out really good. Super, super good. Let me put it back here in the shade so you can kind of see it without the sun. Yeah, there it is without any light. Kind of just shade it. Just, I mean, really, just about perfect. Alrighty, well, I will make some other videos here before too long on something, I'm sure. So if you guys need any deer tips, let me know. Got plenty of them.